What do you know? It's cold. I'm wearing a jacket. It's cloudy and sprinkling rain. Interesting thing about this time of year, you guys, is that if by chance we did get like an inch of rain or an inch and a half of rain, it's early enough in the year that some of this dead, this dead pasture and dead grass actually can spring back. There's enough growing season, it'll actually come back to life. But we'd have to get a good solid inch of rain. So one can always hope. I'm sure this is just a little short reprieve, but it sure feels good. So what's up next? What is up next? Baled just shy of 700 bales of that straw over there. I think I've got the rations all worked out to where that's going to be plenty for us to get through. Now we got to bring it home. It's 160, 70 miles-ish west of here, and we got to bring it home. Now, to get it all done in an orderly manner, we're calling in the big guns, all right? We're getting Rooster, and we're getting Weston, and we're getting me. We're going to get 3 of us. I've been able to find a couple other trailers we can use, and we are going to try to get all this straw moved over here as expeditiously as possible. Get this wrapped up. This way we'll have the straw in the stack. I'll have the canola screenings in the stack. We'll be ready to rock and roll. Oh, what a deal, what a deal. Hey guys, it's Jax, and I've got a problem. Funny thing about Rooster hates driving long nose trucks because he's never owned one. He just never spent any of his trucking career driving one. So he's like, I'm happy to help. I'll jump in, let's move this straw. But he wants to drive the cab over because that's what he spent all of his time driving. And it's so funny because people think cab overs are sweet, and they are. But as far as driving one and living in one, they're not super comfortable because there's just not a lot of room. But Rooster feels at home in these things. This is what he knows, this is what he loves. So we're back in the sweet Pete. I'm gonna kick it in the ribs here and let her start warming up. Been sitting since Cerro Gordo. Bada bing, baby. Woo. Yes, sir.
Desert running dry on the tip of my tongue. I can taste your lies. How to measure the love you throw around. I could never.
I've never been so happy to drive in the rain. I've hauled cattle out to Nebraska this summer. We've been all around and about. Been out to California with the toilets. Seems like everywhere I've gone, I've driven in rain. And driving in those rains just made me a little sad. Driving in this rain today, not sad. Because it's finally here at our place. Oh man, and I don't want to, I'm trying not to get too excited, but it's one of those days where it's just cloudy and calm, and it's just starting to settle in a little heavier, and it feels like it might just go, it might just go like this all day long, which would be the greatest blessing ever. So I'm just gonna settle in for this little ride and happily enjoy each sprinkle, each droplet that splatters upon my windshield.
One of us will have to take a bow. Feeling you so close to make me drive around. Everlasting love, so much to go around. You got me so high I can't come down.
You guys, Rooster's back there in the cab over Pete, and I tell you what, he knows how to talk to that thing. Man, he knows how to speak. This truck here is putting like, what was it, 5 1/4, something like that, to the ground, to the rear wheels, not at the flywheel, the rear wheels. I mean, it's putting the juice down. This Cascadia is no slouch. And I pull up these hills, and I get towards the top, and I move over to look back and see how old Rooster's coming along. Whoa! Just stroking that old cat.
We are coming for you in our mechanical motor.
Something about old-time truckers and mechanical motors they spent all their lives with those things, and they just know how to make them come alive in a way that I don't know that us young guys will ever be able to do. So, long live old truckers and mechanical motors.
I hope you know that I will never let you go. If all I do is dim your glow, then fly on, baby, please just go. I can feel you there where I once had.
Okay guys, Rooster's just getting out. He hasn't been on the road in a while, so he's got probably a few questions. Any questions, Roos?
Yeah, Jed, I drove your truck a little bit today, and the question is, how do you stay awake in something that comfortable?
Hey, you're the one that begs for the cab over.
Man, this thing is rough. 1948, whatever year this thing is.
Yeah, it's a 48, 49.
This thing is not as smooth as old blue.
Hey, I traded my whole life to get Rooster to upgrade to a long nose for some comfort. Oh no, wouldn't have it. Wouldn't have it.
I put those add-on airbags on the
Oh,
cab.
that's right. That's right. We got a couple rounds done, and it's raining, so we can't beat that. We got a long ways to go, but we are getting there. All right, well, we rocked on through the nighttime. We got here late, loaded half the trucks in the dark. Got up this morning, loaded the last one. We haven't run a triple hay train in a long, long time. These guys might be a little upset with me because I'm the loader and they were strapping. And Barley Straw is notoriously itchy because the little chaffs have like little barbs on them for whatever reason. And it's incredibly itchy. So anyway, but I was cool and comfortable. Actually, it was kind of chilly this morning, so I was warm and nice in the tractor cab.
We're still dusted on.
Rooster's still a little dusty.
You know, JJ,
We wanted to make it very clear. We heard you say we haven't ran triple hay trains in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be very clear. These are straw trains. We're not that classy.
All right.
you know, I always thought the lowest form of a trucker was a sheep hauler. That's why I always wore my ski mask when I hauled sheep. But I believe.
Wait, you wore a ski mask when you hauled sheep?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like summertime, wintertime, whatever?
If I'm hauling sheep, I'm wearing a
Like
ski mask.
the old school ones that just have eye holes and mouth holes.
But now I believe the lowest form of a trucker is a straw hauler.
You know?
I have no ski mask with me.
I would agree. I think I'd agree because, yeah, our springy, strappy loads. Okay, well, I think we could stop at Mon probably and grab a ski mask. That might work.
Okay.
Jay, you can pull your beard up over your face, kind of.
Put a hat on?
Yeah.
Okay, well, should we, there's that, you know that pull out on the freeway between Vaughan and Great Falls? There's that big old, unless we've got a DOT in it, let's stop in there and just tighten everything on. So
Okay, would the freeway be better with that big one?
yeah, that's what I'm talking, the big
I
freeway.
thought you meant the one.
Yeah, I know that. We'll pull
Yeah,
off.
okay.
I think I've got mine in my toolbox. I think I have another one. I don't know where that silver one came from. Okay, we have it. Yeah, you can keep that one. All right, so Wish us luck. Biggest issues with hauling straw, this is why it's so tricky, and this is why old Rooster says straw haulers are the lowest form of forage or feed truckers. The reason why straw is tricky is because it's very slick. That's why it's hard to bale. I think I mentioned that when I was baling the other night. It's very slick, like as a product. Like a stem of straw, if you rub it, is very slick. Versus a stem of hay is rough and kind of grabby. Straw is very much more slick. Even though barley dust is itchy, the actual straw itself is very slick. And being slick, you put this net wrap around it to keep it in a bale, and that net wrap is smooth plastic. So when you put your straps over, two things. One, the straps like to slide off the edges of the bale because it's so slick. Even when you crank it down tight, it likes to slide. Two, the bales are very squishy. You can't make them super tight, otherwise when you kick them out of the baler, they'll explode because they're so springy. So you have to make them fairly loose inside, which makes them squishy. So when you strap them down, they squish, and they're just tricky. So we're gonna stop off here in a second, double check everything, crank these straps down, make sure they're riding the way we want them before we go through the big city and on to the ranch. This place here, I think I've mentioned it, but we're like 160 miles, 170 miles from the ranch. So, but moving 125 bales at a whack, we're gonna knock this out in a hurry. You better believe it. Come on. Jibby?
What do you think?
What'd you find? Anything cooking?
Oh, I just redid one strap that I didn't really like the looks of, so.
Like that bale that I broke up there while I was loading?
Call that the hedgehog.
The what?
The token hedgehog.
There's always got to be a hedgehog, you guys, on every load. It's like it's too good to be true. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Weston's always been the favorite son. He's the youngest. And I always catch Rooster like giving him stuff and taking it easy on him, and it never fails.
Just got me a little breakfast, a little fun-sized Almond Joy, and a Diet Pepsi, just to get some nourishment.
Guess what I got? Yep, that's about it. You guys see that big old machine gun mounted up on that Humvee, that humdinger? There's a missile base. We have like the missile defense system for the country is in Montana, and like we are the West Coast defense. All the missiles would blast from here, and there's one right above the house here. And whenever they're working on it, you can tell if they're doing training or actual something. because when they're training, they don't put the machine gun on top of the Hummer. They do more of a, they leave it empty. But as you saw when I drove by, that thing was locked, rock stocked. The belt was in. It was ready to make some rounds should somebody decide to try to hijack the missile base while they're in there working. Won't be me. Did you guys see that gun when you drive by? I was like pointing right through the window. You're like, ah, cut you down. Hey, good morning. Now we're in the thick of this thing. We're in the thick of this deal, but we're getting there. I tell you what, there's nothing greater than just coming in with raw force and power. Like shock and awe when it comes to trucking. When something needs to be moved and you can just bring in the trucks and just lay it down, there's nothing cooler. And that's what we've been doing with these 3 trucks. You know, moving so many bales at one time. And we're getting close. We're doing something a little, there's a cattle guard. We're doing something a little different this morning. When I went over there and baled, I baled some extra bales up, knowing that some of the neighbors and stuff around here would need some straw as well. And so this morning, we're gonna go make a few deliveries. Rooster and I are headed here into the hills on a fairly rough road. So we're just kind of lumbering back into the little mountains here. Weston's gonna go out east and he's gonna drop his load out in the prairie out east. And we'll get those done and then we'll get back to finishing up the straw that needs to come to the ranch. You guys, everybody in Montana on some level is dealing with this drought. Anyone in agriculture on some level is dealing with it, for the most part. Some of us worse than others, but we're happy to be able to have some extra straw that we put up to be able to move into some of our neighbors and friends around here. So anyway, that's where we're headed in this morning. So enjoy some of the scenery.
So Jackson Rooster took their loads to a buddy of ours that needs a little bit of straw, and then I took one load here to just east of Grass Range, Montana, to our friend Gary who needed a little bit of straw. So I'll get this unloaded and then I'll meet up with Jackson Rooster probably back in the field to load some more straw.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Okay, we're back over. We're gonna finish up. We got a couple loads here, and we got to move the whole thing a couple miles that way. A few more loads over there, and we got her whipped. Got her done.
Just got here a little bit ago.
Stony brought the fam along. Little Riggs, Mitz. You remember these guys? Cause you guys were in another. Remember one of the early episodes?
Our big debut, our theatrical debut.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think she's got some skills too.
You picking the boogs? Picking the boogies? Word, well, I'll load you up and
Oh, JJ, go look inside that truck. I want you to go look in there.
I already know.
I call it the Mitzi effect.
I already know. Mitz, bring it in. Just bring it in. Just bring it in. Because I already know. You guys, Mitzi has a skill. And you shouldn't be embarrassed about it.
Well, I don't know if it's a useful skill.
It's incredible. I'm going to show you how useful it is right now.
Beautiful skill. It's called OCD.
She's taken something that people get medicated for and has turned it into an amazing skill. And I already know, because I told Weston when he got in this truck, you guys have to understand, I've been so busy, like literally every day I just wander around like, what do I do next? And when I told Weston he's taking the Cascadia to do these runs, I said, Pardon the lack of organization.
That's a nice
Now-
way. That's a nice way to put how it looks.
Isn't that like a clean way to say that it was a little bit pigsty-ish? Yep. Oh yeah, I always keep it this clean. Yeah. My truck was like this one time. Yeah, back when I bought it. Beautiful! That does not do it justice, no. The before, well, those of you that truck can understand the before, because some of you are probably living in the before at the moment. But I'm going to pledge right now. I'm making a pledge to Mitzi that I will keep this clean
All right, Jay.
for the first 3 days that I'm back in this truck.
Jay.
It's the best I can do. Look, I got Big Rig with me. He's going to ride on the tractor while we load. He's all about one thing, tractors. No, two things, trucks. Tractors and trucks, right? Yeah, what's my name?
Baba.
You guys remember Riggs' cool trick? Can you do this? Hey, da 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 dum 30 da dum da da dum pie. Can you do it? Can you do it? 21 da da dum 2 da da dum ticka 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 2 nung 2 da. Hey Mitz. What? I saw this and I had to ask. What is this?
Well, Weston, my dear husband, told me that I was gonna get hay all over my hair.
Yeah. Okay.
So he graciously gave up his hoodie and gave it to me. And
Guys-
so this is my way.
What's the temperature out here today?
I don't
It's
know,
probably a
it's
good-
pretty hot.
It's probably a good 80 degrees. Mitzi's always prepared. Always prepared. Looking good. I've got a buddy. His name is Riggs. Sometimes he makes noises like a pig. Can you make a pig? What is it? I've got a friend. He's here right now. Sometimes he makes noises like a cow. My oldest friend, of course, he makes noises like a horse. You're the man, Wriggle. It's a little tricky, as we learned. We got this old flatbed that we pulled behind the pickup, And we got this big bale carrier that I've been using. And to load the bale carrier on this flatbed, you have to pull the tractor up onto the front of this. Come look, let me show you how close it is. So the tractor is it's close to the front of the trailer. Front wheels have another 2 feet. Bucket's about into the stacks. And then if you look back, it's just far enough off the trailer, we can raise the tail, unfold the trailer, and back this back off. But that's the only way you can load it on the pickup for transport, is to load it on here and then back it across onto the other trailer. Little of this action. That's it. Straw's done. Harvest is done over there. We baled 690. I think it ended up being 690 bales of barley straw. Weston only had a few small hiccups with the trucks.
It's not true.
I only lost 2 bales on the highway that exploded like grenades.
If you're on the road between Grass Range and Lewistown, and you see those little monuments on the side of the road, that's from Rooster.
That would be me.
Remember we mentioned how straw bales are really, they're all bouncy and stuff. So I get a voicemail from a guy that has my cell phone number, and he's like, "Jackson, you gotta stop. You got bales falling off your truck." And I'm not wherever he's at, and I'm like, what? Turns out old Roos had a strap come a little loose-ish on the way up the hill here, just a few miles from home.
Yeah, made it all but the last 2 miles.
250-mile haul, I made it 247.
So anyway, we got her done. It's all done. Hay's up there. We got a few more, or the straw's up there. I mean, we got a few more things to do, and we'll wrap it up. But we're gonna do something a little special to commemorate the ending of the straw haul. I'll let you do the honors.
A little
Can of sardines.
celebratory sardine.
How was that a celebration?
It's mostly in memory of Grandpa Don. Rooster's dad used to bring us sardines as a snack when we were little kids. He'd come down and we'd work with him at the feedlot, and he'd be like, "I got a snack for you." And we're like, "Oh, sweet." Pulls out a can of sardines. Oop. And so when we saw these, we stopped. There's this little tiny hole-in-the-wall convenience store. I don't even know if it's you can quite call it that. But we stopped there to get a few drinks. Oof. And Roost? We stopped there to get a few drinks, and we saw they had some sardines on the wall, so we bought them to celebrate. And then we see that these went out of date about 3 months ago. And the thing about when canned goods go out of date, you know they're really out of date. Are you filming me? Oh, you guys, I will never eat sardines again. Grandpa Don, straw people, that was supposed to be a ritual to commemorate our straw and a memorial for Grandpa Don. Grandpa Don totally left me high and dry last night. Whatever that little sardine was is making for a very long night and a day. Be cool, stay in school, and don't eat out-of-date sardines. These probably swam in the ocean 3 or 4 years ago, would be my guess.
I would clean them.
You know?
The guts, everything, you just cook them.
Wow, it's so good.
You're not into it, JJ?
No, it's awesome. Okay, well, you guys, that's the end of that adventure. It was long and hard. We're ending it with something short and soft, so. Till next time.